This is Taylor Bias, reading my poem, I Begin the Day Thinking, after Frida Ipum. I begin the day thinking the day could do without me. The ice outside glitters around my car's tires like a pageant dress. Only digital utterances between myself and the world for at least a week. The last time he visited, my friend noted the lack of natural light in my downstairs apartment, the posthumous gray bleeding into the mood, aught of light in the bedroom due to the blackout curtains. But sometimes the day heckles with its high-bitched sun and melting snow. Some days I lay in the morgue of darkness, hyper alone, and the sunlight, so audacious, paints the color back onto my cheeks.
Who do you know?
Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know?
Who do you know?
That doesn't like Kellogg's cornflakes. When you rock it by the man in the moon, you can hear him singing this cornflakes tune. Who do you know? Who do you know?
Not a planetary soul.
That doesn't like Kellogg's cornflakes.
Hi, loungers. It's me, MORST, here on the Time Machine. Back in 2013, I took 3 videos of 4 songs during a camper set at the Petaluma Mystic Theater, and I think "Eye of Fatima" is the most rocking. But don't take my word for it. After you're through lounging, go check out the others over in the archive and see if you enjoy them too. All around sufficient levels of great enduring strength and beauty. I think you'll agree. Chris, please set the Time Machine to winter 2013, and let's go then now, shall we? On the Time Machine.
Got the eye of Fatima on the wall of his room. 2 bottles of tequila, 3 cats and a broom. He's got an 18-year-old angel, and she's all dressed in black. He's got 15 bundles of cocaine tied up in a sack. This here's a government experiment, jam are driving like hell. Taking some cowboys, some acid, and the same motels. We're gonna eat up some wide open spaces like it was a cruise on the Nile. Take the hands off the clock, we're gonna be here a while. And I am the Eye of Fatima on the wall of the motel room. And cowboys on acid, they're like Egyptian cartoons. No one ever conquered Wyoming from the left, from the right. But you can say in motel rooms instead of mine.
Until the late 1930s, there were indoor ice skating rinks in Southern California, but none were year-round outdoor rinks. One of the first was here in the Inland Empire, the Orange Belt Ice Gardens. In 1938, the first outdoor year-round ice skating rink opened in California. The Tropical Ice Gardens in Westwood Village claimed it was the world's first year-round outdoor ice skating rink. Perhaps inspired by the Westwood Village venture, Inland Empire investors explored the feasibility of building an outdoor ice rink locally. In June 1939, the Colton Daily Courier newspaper reported that a 10-acre tract of land south of the city of Colton was purchased on which to build the proposed ice rink. 3 days later, the San Bernardino Daily Sun newspaper had more details, along with an architectural rendering of the facility. It was revealed that the rink was to be called the Orange Belt Ice Gardens. The rink was proposed to be 100 by 200 feet in area and able to accommodate 1,600 skaters. By late January 1940, plans for the project were taking shape. It was revealed that skaters would be using a new type of ice surface, claimed to be the most satisfactory for all-year use. On March 29, 1940, both local newspapers reported that construction of the rink was anticipated to begin by late April. The April 21st San Bernardino Sun reported that the project's cost would be $100,000 and the work would begin the following week. There were a few delays, but in early August there was a groundbreaking ceremony for the Orange Belt Ice Gardens. Work on the rink began and was anticipated to be completed by October 1st. However, the October 1st date was a bit optimistic, and a November 1st Colton Daily Courier newspaper gave a construction progress report with a photo of the site. In the background, La Loma Hills can be seen. In late November, the Colton Daily Courier reported that the grand opening for the Orange Belt Ice Gardens was to take place over 3 days in late November, early December. Tickets soon went on sale. Local merchants Willets, Penny's, and Sears jumped on the bandwagon by opening ice skating departments where shoppers could buy figure and hockey skates, figure skating outfits, gloves, and cold weather clothing. On the day before the grand opening, the San Bernardino Daily Sun featured a full page of grand opening coverage. The program for the 3 evenings was announced. Each night featured performances by a number of figure skating champions and various skating acts. 4,000 good seats were available at the price of 65 cents each. In the wake of the Orange Belt Ice Gardens opening, curious IE skaters flocked to the venue to try out the rink. Note the 2 distinctive towers, similar to the tower that was part of the Westwood Ice Rink. The installation of outdoor lighting increased the availability of the facility. It meant that the rink could be used for both day and evening events. A December 19, 1940 article in the Colton Daily Courier reported that good attendance continues at the Orange Belt Ice Gardens on the Colton to Riverside Road, with classes in figure skating proving to be especially popular, according to Dennis Jackson, rink manager. The Orange Belt Ice Gardens drew the interest of the National Association of Practical Refrigerating Engineers. Members toured the facility to observe how ice skating was possible during the summer months. But ice skating could be hazardous, as a young Cucamonga woman learned when she fractured her left ankle after suffering a fall at the Orange Belt Ice Gardens. In June 1941, the Orange Belt Ice Gardens opened its rink for the use of civilian ice hockey teams from San Bernardino, Riverside, and also teams from local military bases. The military teams hailed from Camp Hahn, a U.S. Army training base near March Field in Riverside County. The most heated ice hockey rivalries were between these Camp Hahn military teams. They were made up of servicemen that were reassigned to California from St. Cloud, St. Paul, and White Bear, Minnesota. There was no love lost between the 216th and the 217th Division teams. This account of a game called it a bitterly fought ice hockey contest and reported that the battle took on a rough and tumble tinge in the final period as the two soldier outfits attempted to gain advantage, and at one time the 217th had 2 players in the penalty box and only 4 men on the ice. In Part 2, the second winter season begins at the Orange Belt Ice Gardens.
Pick a pack of Cheerios, pick a pack of Tricks, pick a pack of Cocoa Puffs, pick a pack of Kicks, pick a pack of Frosty-Os and pick up Wheaties too in the General Mills pick-a-pack package.
10 packs, 6 favorite cereals in a stay-together pantry shelf box. Great. They're from General Mills, naturally. Pick a pack.
No problem. I'll just eat some oatmeal.
You know, we're the same age, right?
I'm 70.
I'm 70.
All right. When's your birthday?
March 2nd.
Mine's June 14. I'll be 71.
Oh, there you go. So you're like a tick ahead. You know. Welcome, Ed. I'm glad you have your oatmeal. There. Oh, wow. That's
not strawberries, raspberries and blueberries.
That's serious. That's serious oatmeal. I'm so glad we're able to get together here at the Lo-Fi Lounge to talk about your newest release, PROG versus Fusion. Gil Evans, upon seeing your band way back when, just appreciated your unusual approach. That's high praise. Even back then, I bought your plays the music of Zappa album years and years ago because it said Zappa. What Ed does with his big band, he takes music from everywhere, from all sorts of eras, and then he just smashes things together like atoms crashing. In this PROG versus Fusion, he takes on John McLaughlin, Tony Williams, Wayne Shorter, Soundgarden, Yes, King Crimson, and then Zappa sneaks in there too. So Ed, congratulations on a great new album.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. That's very kind words. Well, it's just it's how I have fun. Like sneaking those Zappa things in there. A clear sign of ADHD is that every song reminds me of another song. On the front side of the cover, for those of you who only get the digital, you're missing the you're missing the ridiculousness of the physical CD. On the cover, there's a battle between Miles Davis's trumpet and like bombs coming out of his trumpet bell, and then Ian Anderson on the other side fighting him, and he's shooting darts out of his flute, and I'm in the middle trying to get away, and then when you album cover over, you see me in my grave, tombstone with my feet hanging out from. A tombstone says, "Here lies Ed. He dead." Because I like things to rhyme. And now the reason, the way I died was a keytar fell on me. Now, for those of you who don't know what a keytar is, Edgar Winter played it on Frankenstein. Herbie Hancock has played it. The narration has to do with just the funny and absurd aspects of both the genres. But there you go. It's so what I'm saying, it's some serious music, but with some really just funny stuff peppered throughout the whole CD.
Black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Won't you come?
After doing my very first album, just called Ed Palermo, that's the album that Gil Evans wrote the liner notes for. I'm proud of it. It was a youthful effort, but had some real interesting arrangements and stuff, if I do say so myself. And it sounds like a big band record. It's got that clean big band record thing. And then after that, I decided, you know what? I don't want it to sound like a clean. I don't want my music to sound like a clean big band record. When we do stuff like Zappa and stuff, I want it to sound like a rock record with horns.
these segments, we're going to dip into the very fun but very heavy Bob Dylan book, Mixing Up the Medicine, that features exhibits from the Bob Dylan Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. In this one, we want to look at Milton Glazer's famous, iconic Dylan poster and just how it came to be. Well, what happened after Dylan's motorcycle accident, and this kind of wild speculation of, was he dead? Was he alive? Was he ever going to do music again? Columbia decided they needed to put out a greatest hits album to, keep their star in the limelight. So, to kind of just push the album a little extra, they decided to put a poster, and Milton Glaser was hired to design what ends up being a very iconic poster. Well, he starts with a self-portrait by Marcel Duchamp from the 50s, and it has this very, very stark, just, side glance of the face. And you can see how he takes that, kind of flips it, and has the Dylan piece, and then as this, very psychedelic hairdo that really fit, the feel of that era. Didn't really fit Dylan so much anymore because he wasn't going to do that psychedelic music anymore. And there is some feedback that he not only didn't like the greatest hits concept, but he didn't like the poster very much either. After the poster, Columbia went to their art design and did a series of photos with a model, very model holding the Dylan poster and hiding behind it. But it was in black and white, and so the whole kind of colorful psychedelic Dylan hair really didn't pop through, and so it was not very successful and was never used. This is a good example of some of the things that are in Mixing Up the Medicine. Each page has a little revelation, and this is the story about the Dylan poster. P.S. He also designed that font at the bottom where it says Dylan, so that's pretty hip. You look great, man.
Thanks.
I'm so glad that you contacted me to do something, some interviews about camping, because you had the funny story with the lightning hits the golf cart, and that's good.
Yeah.
It really helps the people who don't get to go to the camp-ins or into a camp out. It fills in the gap,
Oh, it's an experience. I highly recommend everybody try to get to at least one in their lifetime. Another thing that really stands out from this year's camp-in would have been Johnny's solo set. He played a cracker song they had never played before, live at all. And he pulled it out of the hat, and he nailed it. It was Tonight They Come Across the Border. I believe it's off the Baker Fields album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he nailed it. I mean, I kind of wonder if it wasn't a little protest too, because of what's going on with
Oh, yeah.
with the current government and the status of immigrants.
Yeah.
So it might have been a little bit of a protest song, because it's a moving song about the Mexicans coming across the border, just looking for work, just to survive.
And, it's a song that other fella wrote. And I really like this song a lot. I don't think we've ever done it. We haven't done it live yet, so I'm going to give it a try. Woo! Let's hope I don't mess it up. It'd be like, I did one of your songs, man. I butchered the shit out of it. Sorry, man. Maybe you should do it now and fix it. That's it. I don't even know what key I'm going to do it in. We'll find out. Let's
hope we're right, Keith.
Feels like a key of D. David sings it kind of deep on the record, so I'm going to do it up in my upper register, kind of a vibe. Let's see how it goes. Total experiment here. Come sing a melody for tonight. I cross the border. There's no work here for us, so tonight I cross the border. Come sit and drink with me, and we'll toast to the old days. Walk down the darkened streets to the old and empty plaza. There's no one left at home but the old, the widows and los traficantes. The tourists have all gone home, and the priests have abandoned their stations. Please keep my children safe and away from harm. Pray to the saints that I make it home to see my family. Sing a melody for tonight. I cross the border. There's nothing here for us, so tonight I cross the border. Thank you very much. Beautiful David Lowery song.
You will see the exciting opportunity that exists for your city to become better.
Last night I wandered from two friends. Be careful where you should not go. Hold your tongue, speak your truth. You never know once to know. Wake up, I told my friends, it's not the life I want to live. You can't hold a candle, they say. You can't hold a candle, they say.
my turn now? Abe, it is indeed your turn. Alright. Abe Partridge, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Abe.
Best shoes in the business.
Thank you, Brian, for inviting me to be a part of your friends round.
My pleasure.
My name is Abe Partridge, and I'm from Mobile, Alabama. And I left Mobile when I was 18 years old to become a Baptist preacher. And I went to 4 Bible colleges in 4 years. And I married my wife on the day I graduated. And whenever I was 25 years old, I started pastoring a little independent Baptist church in the mountains of Kentucky. Then whenever I was 27 years old, I lost my mind. Then whenever I was 35 years old, I started a rock and roll band. And this is a song I wrote about it. It's called the No Teacher Blues. I hope you like it. Well, I bought me a guitar at the corner pawn shop. I played Guitar Hero. Now I really wanna rock. I bought me a music book I couldn't even read. Man, I'm gonna have to find someone to teach me. So I'm going to the city where the rock and rollers live. I gassed up my truck and down the road I went. The ghost of Kurt Cobain and learn to play some grunge guitar like Alice in Chains. But all I found were hipsters with their lumberjack beards and their trendy coffee shops and their fancy gelled up hair. So I asked this homeless dude, where's the underground scene? He said punk is dead and it ain't had no recovery. Try my hand at old school R&B. Maybe Detroit City is where that I should be. I could grow a white boy afro and learn some funky moves and get some black girls behind me singing shoo-bop shoo-woo. But Motown left there years ago and there was no R&B. Well, I guess Detroit City just wasn't for me. Just to find my hippie soul. I went to Hayden-Asbury where all the hippies go. I walked around barefooted, I put flowers in my hair, and I took a trip on LSD, but I didn't get nowhere. To this mystic Maharishi said you gotta find yourself. So I packed up my truck and I headed back south. So I was raised on Elvis. Surely I could find some rockabilly pickers down in Memphis, 'cause they had Johnny Cash and Carl Perkins. But now the Sun Studio is just a museum. That kind of music don't sell many records anymore. Well, I guess a rockabilly, it ain't a big deal no more. The home of the blues, the Mississippi Delta, it was the best I could do. I went to the crossroads of Robert Johnson fame, and I waited there to midnight, and I called the devil's name. in centerfold dolls. Man, what they're calling country wasn't country at all. It's just a of a crooked industry. And I don't know about you, brother, but it just wasn't for me. Punk is dead, maybe the hippies are through, and R&B and rockabilly have done all that they can do, and maybe the devil ain't still teaching the blues, and Nashville's been taken by these business suits. I'll just play it like I feel it, I'll let it come from my soul, cause you don't need no teacher to rock and roll. Play it like I feel it, I'll let it come from my soul, cause you don't need no teacher to rock and roll.
Tell it all, brother, tell it all.
I apologize, I forgot where I was momentarily.